welcome to the Squarebase Show with your host, Rob and Val. And in this incredibly exciting video, we're going to be going through the Wood Elf Arcane Journal.
Woodies! We got big wood.
Oh, yeah, we got a massive wood. Are you feeling our
Huge
wood?
woodies.
Yeah, if you're in the comments, you let us know if you're feeling the size of our wood. Okay.
It's going to be some tree whacking today, Rob. Big tree whacking.
There's going to be tree whacking. What's going to be inside this Wood Elf Arcane Journal, I hear you ask? Well, there's two different armies of infamy that you're going to be able to check out. One led by Orion, who makes a strong return, and Talzin. There's also a bunch of upgrades for your characters in the shape of Wood Elf Kindreds, a new spell lore, a bunch of new units, and a bunch of new magic items, which is pretty exciting. Val, you pumped?
So pumped. I mean, we're both just electric right now. We're pumped. It's totally not super late where Rob is, and I totally have had a really normal week. So like everything is good. We're gonna crush this.
We're gonna crush the hell out of it. I'm very, very excited.
We're gonna clear cut this one.
Yeah. We're going clear. I don't know what that means, but I hear people saying saying it a lot on dating
chop
sites.
all the trees down, Rob.
Okay. All right.
Or perhaps remove all of your pubic hair. I'm not sure. One of those two things.
All right. So let us know what you think as we go through these things. The first thing that we're going to look at are the Wood Elf Kindreds. Listen, I'm going to read out the fluff, the narrative a little bit, so we can kind of give some context to what we're talking about. Communities of Wood Elves.
You said you want to do less than 2 hours, Rob, and you're kicking it off by reading some flavored text.
I just don't want people going in dry. That's what it is. I don't want that. Communities of Wood
You don't
Elves,
want a dry forest. No. You don't want a dry forest. That's bad.
No, you need to cut and burn or whatever they do. Communities of Wood Elves often gather in small nomadic groups of similarly minded individuals known as Kindreds or Kindreds. The elves who live in these groups share not only attitudes and personalities with those within their kindred, but sometimes physical characteristics as well. The nobles and leaders of these kindreds, there are those who exemplify the qualities most clearly. Their kindred they belong to, easily identified by their appearance and their actions. To represent this, some characters may belong to either an altered kindred or a noble kindred. A character cannot belong to both. Belonging to a kindred gives the character access to certain benefits, as detailed on the following pages. The benefits of a kindred, be it alter or noble, do not apply to a model's mount, should it have one.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do a classic Rob and Val. We're going to go one at a time each. So altered kindreds, known as alters, shifters, or wildkin. Those are the altered kindreds can adopt aspects of the creatures who dwell in Athel Lauren, kind of a Twilight situation. Wood Elf nobles and mages only. So nobles and mages only. A character that does not belong to a noble kindred may belong to an altered kindred. A character that does not, may select one of the following aspects when writing your muster list. However, units that have been joined by a character with one of the following aspects cannot use that character's leadership. So there is quite a significant downside to this.
I wonder, does that include inspiring presence?
I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to feel yeah for now. Let's know in the comments if you disagree.
Interesting. Seems like that's in the context of joining a unit. You can always use the highest leadership of the unit. Inspiring presence, of course, says may use it as their own. So I don't know. Interesting.
Well, the first aspect, and then we're going to jump to Val to do the next one. Aspect of the Hound, what I've been known as famously. It's cost you 20 points. And a character who adopts the aspect of the Hound and any unit they have joined may re-roll any rolls to hit of a natural 1 during the combat phase. So I think we should both say for now, how do you feel about Wood Elf characters generally getting an additional slot for points upgrades? Because obviously we've got spites, and now we've got the ability to be from a kindred.
Now we got 3 layers. We got magic items, spites, and kindreds. This is feeling like 8th edition 40k all of a sudden, or 9th edition 40k. So we got rules on rules on rules. Will more rules? Will the rules fix the rules? This is an interesting layering of rules on rules on rules on rules. We'll have to see how it plays out for him, Cotton. But rerolls to hit of a natural run during the combat phase. That ain't bad.
No,
20 points too. We're not paying a lot for that.
No, especially as yesterday we talked about the fact you can get a pretty high weapon skill, maybe even be hitting on 2s. So not mad at that. Okay. Aspect of the bear. Take me through it.
Infantry or cavalry only, a character who adopts the aspect of the bear increases their strength and toughness characteristic by 1 for 15 points plus 1 toughness.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Absolutely. What, my
Maybe
mage is an aspect, is a beary mage. I'll take it.
Or your noble on, say, a stag.
Very cool.
Like on a great stag, that's a toughness. I think he gets him to toughness 5. It's not bad.
I gotta say, I already love the concept of how I can sculpt and kit bash and really personalize my characters thanks to these special rules. I already think that's a great thing. It's already given evocation. It's evocative.
Yes, and also as these all seem to be fur pelts, maybe within my ability to green stuff.
You're a pretty good green stuffer.
Things,
yeah,
easy.
Strength and toughness by 1, great. 15 points, great. I think people are not going to be mad at that. Aspect of the boar is 10 points. A character who adopts the aspect of the boar improves the armor piercing characteristic of its weapons by 1 during a turn in which it charged and gains the impact hits 1 special rule. Not bad, but
10 points though.
I know, but I want to be strength and toughness up by 1. That's where I want to be.
One of them can be, but I mean, this is another. That's of its weapons. That you can put some AP on maybe one of the magical weapons. Maybe that makes them interesting, like one of the magical like bows and stuff. Could be useful. Aspect of the cat. Meow. All right, this one's gonna be ferocious. A character who adapts the aspect of the cat gains the Armor Bane 1 special rule and may re-roll any failed rolls to hit during a challenge.
Like I told my friend Mark a while ago, I see a lot of bears in his future, and I see a lot of bears in the Wood Elf's future. That's what I'm going to say. +1 strength, +1 toughness. Definitely this what's singing to me. Could even say tree singing to me out of this roster.
Look, dude, like the thing is though, like these are so cheap. I mean, like every single, they're all good. It's just based on cheapness, right? Like maybe you don't necessarily have an application for aspect of the hound, but aspect of the kitty cat, the one we just talked about there. I mean, that goes really well on the already decent in a challenge dragon noble or dragon lord.
Yeah.
Who gets some buffs in a challenge from items or something. I can't remember what. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, you're quite right in pointing out that obviously the aspect of the bear's only going to work on infantry and cavalry. So these are upgrades to our Dragon Lord, which we're not mad at. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a great shout. So there's not just one page of these though. We've got a second page, Noble Kindreds. Now this
very
is
different from the other one that I couldn't totally remember the name of.
Yes. Wood Elf nobles and mages only. You cannot belong to an altar kindred and a noble kindred, as you well know. Okay, as you well know.
Don't do it. Don't even think about it.
Do I take us through the first one?
Sure. Glamour Weave Kindred. I got to read what that is. Though the Glamour Weave Kindred is far smaller than the others, its members are all potent spellcasters who play an important role in ensuring balance is maintained within Athaloran. Wood Elf Mages only. A character belonging to the Glamour Weave Kindred has a 5+ ward save and gains the Tree Spirit special rule for 25 points.
That's pretty good. 5+ ward save. We're not mad at. And again, it's on a mage. It's on a mage. But like we talked about, like any save in a Wood Elf book is incredible.
That any save is incredible. Also, gaining the Tree Spirit special rule means they can hop in a unit of Dryads who can skirmish, who are toughness 4. So that gives them a little bit of a cast-in bunker, perhaps. That's neat. They have saves.
Does it also mean that their high leadership can benefit the tree spirits as well? I think so. I think tree spirits can only get leadership from other tree spirits. So
dude, have we already forgotten, or is the Ultra Kindred restriction that you don't get to use the character's leadership not apply to noble?
Oh, it doesn't apply to noble.
Was that a kindred?
So yeah, just to be clear, it's only altar kindreds that the leadership does not work with. So this would work. That's not a bad shout. 5 ward save for 25 points. I'll take it. I'm happy with it. Also, because it's not coming out of my magic slot, so I can still take all the magic items I want to get my hands on.
That's absolutely the case.
Next up,
Tell me about the Eternals.
Well, 20 points for the Eternal Kindred. Those who dwell within the Eternal Kindred spend the cold winters guarding Athelloren's most sacred glades and groves. I'm already loving the fact that we've got little tribes. Like, and I know they're only really represented in the characters, but that's very fun. It's very cool.
Yeah.
20 points. Infantry only. A character belonging to the Eternal Kindred and any unit they have joined may re-roll any rolls to hit of a natural one during the combat phase. In addition, a character belonging to the Eternal Kindred and any unit they have joined may re-roll any failed to wounds during the combat phase while they're within 6 inches of a special feature. Seeing as most boards don't contain a special feature, okay, that is unfortunately not as good a buff as you maybe would want. But the reroll natural ones is pretty nice.
Well, I'll tell you this, Rob. Spoilers. There's a little thing, something called the Herdstone, that's going to be in the Beastman Arcane Journal, and it is indeed a special feature. Okay. And these are armies fighting each other. So if you're near that Herdstone, beating up on some beastmen, this will be helpful, I guess. Just
like this video, a special feature. But yeah, you're right, absolutely. Rerolls to hit of 1 and then reroll into wound if you can make it happen is very fun. Very cool. Let's find out about the Wild Rider Kindred.
Oh, I want to know more about this. 20 points. Here we go. Buckle up. Wild Riders are almost good. Those in command of the Wild Rider Kindreds are truly embodiments of their liege lord. Reckless, ferocious, almost to a fault. Wood Elf Nobles only. A character belonging to the Wild Rider Kindred must be mounted on an elven steed or great stag and may only wear light armor. In addition, they gain the Countercharge Frenzy, Furious Charge, and Talismanic Tattoo special rule.
Okay.
Countercharge Frenzy. So I'm pretty sure Wild Riders don't have Countercharge. Is that something they did or didn't have? I can't remember.
I would have to go back and check. I don't think they have Countercharge. Maybe they do. I think they might do, yeah. But either way, what you're basically saying is for 20 points is you can have everything that a Wild Rider does, but you can have a character in with some Wild Riders.
Yeah, I mean, you already could. Right? Like you put the great stag there. This is okay, cool. I don't understand.
Okay.
I guess this just makes him. I guess this just juices him up. So if he's, like it gives him frenzy, furious charge. That's the next +2 attacks. One problem with the nobles is of course that they, they're kind of locked to four swings, like 4 attacks. So this does juice them up to Wild Rider levels, tiers.
It does also thematically make them very like a Wood Elf unit in that they have 0 save. So
not 0. It's a 6-up, 6-up, homie. Okay.
6 up.
And I mean, you could still give them other things too.
Yeah, sure. Okay, the Scout Kindred is 15 points. Infantry only. A character belonging to the Scout Kindred gains the Quick Shot and Scouts special rule. Okay. All right, not bad. Those Athelloren bows that we talked about on the deep dive. Scout up, do some shooting. That's not too bad. That's okay. Maybe you want this on a Way Watcher as an example. But I think a Way Watcher already has Scout.
Might already have Scout. Yeah, I mean, it could be fun to just be able to scout a annoying character up there, including mages, I guess. If you wanted to stash them somewhere.
I like the idea of scouting up a mage, dropping a good old big fire, not fireball, pillar of fire on the enemy army, really early doors. Cute.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a cute trick. That's very fun. Infantry only though, so they will be out there in the wild on their own.
Yeah, but they could be with the scouting version of archers. So I'm feeling the Kindreds, bro.
Well, I think the question we've got to ask ourselves is like 2 things. One, do you think this adds a lot of flavor to like the army, the Wood Elf roster as a whole? This is quite nice, like an overarching set of additional things to theme your Wood Elf roster feels really good, and I really like it. So does it do that, and does it really encourage different and diverse builds, or does it improve the strength of the army? What's your take on those 2 points?
Well, one, these feel rather themey. I think in general these are very straightforward, getting and also just giving like big rules, like special rule type rules to the characters, rather than a lot of the items and stuff which we saw with very niche applications. These are just sort of adding a lot of just adding some options to characters in a pretty open way. These aren't locked to either of the Armies of Infamy. These are just goodies that Wood Elf characters now get to have. Again, it's a third tier of upgrade. The spites, as we covered, are for the most part underwhelming. These are all useful. I don't think there's one here that's not useful, and it also opens up some interesting combinations and things that you can play with.
And unlike the magic items from the core book, they're on the cheaper end as well. They're not super expensive. It's not 50 points for terror. It's
which you defended. Which you defended.
I encouraged. Let's just say that. Okay. I encouraged. Okay. So they're cheap. They are thematic, and they might improve the quality of units. So I'm really excited about this. Let's go look.
This is good. This is a good start.
Let's go look at the magic items. Okay, so magic items. Sometimes this is where the real spice lies in these arcane journals, and we get to go into magic.
Sometimes the only spice. So we're already ahead of pace.
Yeah,
this is good.
Yeah, it's good. Magic weapons.
First of all, are they locked? Are they locked?
Okay.
Let's have a look.
So the answer is they are not locked, because in some arcane journals they are locked to certain armies, and sometimes they're not. But they normally say underneath. Do you want to take us through Vol's Wrath?
Absolutely, I will. Aggrieved by his fate, Vol poured much of his rage into this mighty warbow during its creation. 55 points. Okay, we got another magic bow. Let's see how this one does. Vol's Wrath is range 32 inches, strength +1. Yes. -2 AP. We're cooking. Flaming attacks, magical attacks, multiple wounds 2. A lot of italics. I'm nervous. Once per game, unless the wielder moved during the previous movement phase, Vol's Wrath can be shot like a bolt thrower using the through and through special rule. 55 points. Huh.
Very interesting item.
Okay. And we saw that one of those aspects or the Kindreds impacted something that we said, or at least I thought might be useful for a shooting attack. So this is cool. 55 points might be a bit steep, but I mean the ballistic skill on their characters are bananas. So, you're probably hitting. There's a magic item that lets you re-roll a miss, although you might take a wound if you fail the second re-roll. All right, we're cooking here. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. And obviously, like you've talked about already, getting plus strength on an infantry unit is going to help them bows out. Okay, the Daith Reaper is 40 points. It's strength +1, AP1 with magical attacks. Enemy models must re-roll any successful armor save rolls against wounds caused by this weapon. So not too bad. AP1 is fine, obviously. And then, some people are going to be hitting a strength 4. Don't know if we get up to strength 5 with the noble. I think is he a 4?
I think he's a 4.
He's a 4. Okay, so we go to 5, and then you reroll a successful armor saves. But again, it's not going to be the choppiest of all characters. It's 40 points. Not too bad though. If it was AP2 and you're rerolling, I'd be super excited. AP1 and rerolling, it's probably very fair.
Yeah, and again, there's an aspect we can juice it a little bit on the AP side of things. Not the worst. I mean, not the worst. Again, maybe a little heavy on the point side, but not the worst weapon I've ever seen.
No.
Very good. Okay, I'm overly positive so far. Huntmaster's Pride, 35 points. Huntmaster's Pride is strength user, -2 AP. Magical attacks, multiple wounds 2. All right, 35 points. The notes say the Huntmaster's Pride may only be taken by models within an Orion's Hunt Army of Infamy. The multiple wounds 2 special rule applies only against models whose troop type is monstrous infantry, monstrous cavalry, or monstrous creature, or behemoth. Boo.
I mean, I don't hate that. Like, I think recognizing that monstrous infantry, cavalry, monstrous creature, or behemoths are a problem, and being able to make it so you can do more damage against them feels nice. I don't hate that at all.
Your strength 3, dude.
As you have pointed out in every one of these so far, we can improve that.
They can improve their strength.
Kindreds. Yeah, you can increase your strength from one of for a character. Strength and toughness.
Was it strength and toughness? I remember it as toughness.
Strength and toughness.
Okay, my bad. Sure. Okay. So even still, you're winning on 6s against behemoths. You're not seeing a lot of monstrous creatures. I mean, just let them have the multiple wounds too. But all right, fine. It's cromulent, I guess. So that's the first one. That's the first like grand army style restriction I think we've seen so far, where it's just like, why'd you do that?
Yeah. Also, that obviously really excitingly, that also brings up the fact that we've got the Orion's Wild Hunt to go through. We've also got Talzin to go through. So it's only going to be taking the Wild Hunt as well. The Blade of Endless Flame. Wow. Very useful. 25 points is a combat weapon that you will use in combat that strengthens user with AP1. It gives you an extra attack, flaming attacks, and magical attacks. And flaming attacks that we talked about on the deep dive is really a double-edged sword, like this weapon, and could be. And sometimes it's actually a negative to have that. 25 points to get an extra AP and extra attack. I'm okay. I'm also going to put this to at home. I don't want it.
Yeah, that's a straight no.
But you know what? We're never going to say no to a cheeky enchanted item. Let's take me through the first one, brother.
Crown of Antlers. I like this. Crown of Antlers gives us where the Armor Bane 1 and Impact hits D3 special rule.
Wow.
The Impacted has an armor piercing characteristic of 2. All right.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in.
I'm super in on that. Like, obviously, again, not hitting necessarily a massive target, but this is going to pump a load of combat res into certain units. That's nice.
I think that is just fine. And a cheeky Armor Bane 1, 35 points. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Juice them up a little bit again, because most of the characters don't get a ton of attacks unless they're riding like a big old dragon or something. So that's cool.
So the next one, the Moonstone of the Hidden Ways, is 30 points. It's a single use, and the wearer of the Moonstone of the Hidden Ways may cast a Forest Walker spell from the lore of Athel Loren. That's where you can teleport between 2 different forests with a character. As a bound spell with a power level of 3, which is a nice, tasty power level.
Good.
This is very fun. I would say that you can give this to a Dragon Man, which I think is very funny. I don't think there's anything that restricts you unless the spell itself restricts you to just infantry or something similar.
It's possible that it might be a target friendly wood elf character completely within a woodland terrain is not fleeing. No, you can use it on dragon.
That's pretty funny. And power level 3, be in a forest, teleport to another forest. Your opponent doesn't know where the dragon's coming from. That's a cool item, and at least it's fun and thematic.
It is fun. Or maybe, maybe that's maybe your scouting mage. Although your scouting mage could just already have this. I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
Oopsie. So yeah.
Do you take us to the next one?
Oh, sure. Blight-tipped arrows. Blight-tipped. 15 points. Coated in virulent toxins harvested from the depths of the wild wood. Blight-tipped arrows need only nick the flesh to bring about a slow and painful death. Single use. Models with the Aserai longbow only. A blight-tipped arrow can be fired as normal from the bearer's Aserai longbow. If an enemy model suffers an unsaved wound from a blight-tipped arrow at the beginning of each subsequent start of turn subphase, that model must make a toughness test. If the test has failed, the model immediately suffers a single wound with no armor or regeneration saves permitted. Ward saves may be attempted as normal. Interesting.
Oh, I like the idea of poisoning someone and they're constantly taking tests for the rest of the game. That's very fun.
I would have liked, again, we saw another one of these in the deep dive that was on an unsaved wound. So, I mean, this is at least it's only 15 points. At least.
Yes.
And also, you got to think about what you want to be shooting at. This might be a decent thing on like the guy who leads the Way Watchers.
Waystalker.
Waystalker, who by the way got thoroughly panned. I think I was hopeful about the Waystalker in the deep dive. Thoroughly panned, but like if you could Hawkeye Archer like a buffing character of some kind, a mage or something like that, and then they're just taking toughness tests the rest of the time, that could be fun.
Yeah, for sure. And also it's a common item as well.
Yeah.
So
you could have a couple of them.
You can have a couple of these and just like, and again, really fun. That's a fun element to add to your army. You've popped a couple of blight-tipped arrows. Your opponent's constantly taking toughness tests. It's not going to work or be very effective every game, especially hyper-efficient lists, but it's going to be a really fun thing to do with your mates at the club and blight their dudes. I like it a lot. I think it's very cool.
Absolutely. Also, just had a bit of a bummer realization. Waystalkers, who I thought that'd be a great guy to carry that sick bow that we read about. Yeah, they only get 50 points, so they can't take it because it's 55 points.
I'm sorry, buddy. It's a tough time.
Jerks.
It's a tough
It's a
time.
tough time. All right, moving on.
Okay, for arcane items, you got the Orb of Midsummer, which is 35 points, and once per turn, the bearer of the Orb of Midsummer may re-roll a casting roll, which is really nice because you've already got a once per turn ability to re-roll a dispel from the core book. So now you got the other version of that if you want to go more. Well, no, you add a d6 or whichever it is. You basically get some bonuses to dispel. This is giving you bonuses to cast. Positive. I like it. Very cool. And cheap enough.
The other one, the other one is the Wand of Witch Elm, which is 30 points, and it's once per turn. If they're in a wood for 30 points, they can re-roll a failed casting roll. So this one just doesn't have that condition. Yeah, that's you dispel on 3d6, pick the two highest, and it gives you extra range. But I'm saying like they literally have two things now that give them a re-roll casting roll.
Okay, fantastic. That's good. Take away the stipulation.
Took away the stippy, bud. No stippies in this one. What about Heartwood Pendants, though? That's what I want to know about for 15 points. In addition to the lores of magic they may normally know spells from, the bearer of a Heartwood Pendant may know spells from the lore of the wilds. There you go. Okay.
So it's a spell lore we haven't looked at yet, but obviously this means this opens this up to all of the casters in all of the different armies, which is very cool. So that spell lore now is something you can take in the Grand Army if you wanted to run the Grand Army or the Armies of Infamy, although you get it in Talzin's army already. So that's nice, and it's super cheap.
It's 15 points. Also, is there something on my monitor, or is it a super common item?
It's a super common magic item.
So that means even though it is arcane, it's not blocking out the rest of the things from that you might want to take as arcane items. So we'll have to see if the lore of the wilds is worth taking. Maybe this is too.
Also, just as a kind of weird side point, it's 15 points, but isn't the bottom item? It's not going down it's not descending order, which I think they're all in descending order in points.
I'm gonna say the person who was doing the final edit was like, not 25, 15, and they
45 points. No way. That's 15. The sigil of the Mage Queen is 25 points. It's a single use, and the bearer of the sigil of the Mage Queen may use it before making a casting roll. If they do, they may apply +2 modifier to that casting roll. So just a single use to get +2 to your casting roll. Is it going to be super impactful? Maybe, but probably not. It's not quite as powerful as some of the other scrolls, maybe. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Next up, bud. Magic armor, and this is super important. Only 2 entries, which is a little bit disappointing because, as we pointed out in the deep dive, these elves especially, not heavily armored. Do you want to take us through the first one?
Super unheavily armored, but hey, I don't think that's unusual to only have 2 magic armors. Here we go. Mantle of Rebirth, 40 points. The Mantle of Rebirth is a suit of light armor. In addition, its wearer has the regen 5+ special rule for 40 points.
Okay, are we mad at that?
For 40 points? What is the common thing that the high elves get? It's also something of Rebirth. I think it's basically free.
Like, ultimately, we need to just respect the fact that JTY wants his elves in the wood to be naked, and he does not want you to question
those naked little freaks running around. That's what he wants.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
All right. Touche. Fair point. I'll take it.
For 30 points, so you get the Cloak of Tumbling Leaves. Models whose troop type is regular infantry or heavy infantry only. The Cloak of Tumbling Leaves is a suit of light armor, of course. In addition, its wearer has the Fly 10 and Swift Stride special rule. However, the wearer cannot join a unit. I'm going to say right now, I would love to see JTY's Skyrim save. I'm just going to say it. It's just scantily clad elves. That's all it is. Okay, in loincloths. But Fly 10, Swift Stride, very cool. Very funny.
And unfortunately, it's a suit of light armor, so I guess that doesn't help a mage. I don't know what the application of this could possibly be. It's just sort of a naked flying naked flying.
It's so you can green stuff just a little bikini set on a dwarf, on an elven lord, and fly him around.
The leafy banana hammock. All right. Let's go to talismans here. Ariel's Favor, 30 points. The bearer of Ariel's Favor has the magic resistance 2 special rule, -2 special rule. For 30 points, we'd have to compare it to other things, but that seems pretty useful.
That's fine.
It's totally useful.
That is useful. That is useful. Like, if you need it, that's great. Orion's Favor is 25 points. It's a single-use item. The bearer of the Orion's Favor can re-roll any failed rolls to hit and or to wound made during the combat phase. Wow. Bearer of Orion's Favor can re-roll...
The bearer.
The bearer.
Bearer.
The bearer. But that's good. Like, again, you give your Dragon Lord like a good weapon, and you're going to reroll to wound once for that single punchy combat. That, like you said, the Lord is I think, is the Lord only 4 attacks? Maybe he's only 4 attacks.
Yes, 4.
Okay, so reroll to hit and reroll to wound on all those could be important. It's 25 points though, so probably it's a little bit too expensive.
Let's stop. I mean, like, what's there's a common item in the core book that's like the Paymaster's coin or something. I feel like it's 15 or 20 points for just reroll hits, single use. So I don't know. That could be useful.
Reroll to wound especially is good.
Yeah, both is great. Go for it. Tapestry of Talzin.
Well, this is an 80-point magic standard. Now we're moving into the big dogs. It's a battle standard bearer in a host of Talzin. So this is one of our other armies, Orion and Talzin. Army of Infamy model only. A model carrying the Tapestry of Talzin increases their command range to 18 inches. In addition, friendly units within the bearer's command range improve their leadership characteristic by 1 to a maximum of 10. Ooh, I thought it was going to say so much more than that.
For 80 points? What do we not? What? What is the point of this? 80 points? Maybe there's something. Maybe there's hit us in the comment. What's the super sick combo that we don't know about? Maybe there's something coming up. That seems a little cray.
Yeah, this is only in Talzin. So when we get to Talzin, you realize that the elves swap their leadership with their strength. Then it's going to turn on its head. Okay, the game's going to turn on its head. 80
points, man. That should be like
80 points is a lot of points.
+1 strength, toughness, and wound for everyone in the unit or something. 80 points is wild, man.
And a 5-up ward save.
And a 5-up ward. No, we can't do that. Can't do that. Banner of the Wild Hunt, 25 planet. All right, now we're talking. The Banner of the Wild Hunt may only be taken by a model in an Orion's Wild Hunt Army of Infamy. When calculating its combat result, the unit carrying the Banner of the Wild Hunt may claim an additional bonus of +1 combat result point. In addition, the unit may reroll pursuit rolls.
Oh, not too bad. +1 combat res reroll pursuits.
Okay. I don't mind that.
One thing I do mind about that, and shout out to everyone who is going to say amen, Rob, on this front, is Amen, I will always remember the +1 combat result, but I am never going to remember that I can reroll pursuit rolls. Okay? That's unfair. Okay? I'm going to be like, +1 combat, I planned for this. I love it. You lose. Okay? Roll a pursuit. Don't worry. I don't need to worry about anything. I've forgotten. Damn it. And then I'm going to curse myself later at night.
Damn it.
Okay. The standard of Morning's Chill is also 25-point standard. And the bearer of the standard of Morning's Chill can cast the Swirling Mist spell from the Lore of the Wilds as a bound spell too. The power level of 2. We'll cover that in a minute. We'll see how effective that is. And then I'll just finish off with the Banner of Springtide, which is 20 points. A unit carrying the Banner of Springtide gains the Quick Shot special rule.
Which
units don't have Quick Shot?
I think a lot of them. Okay, so sorry. That is the other half of the banner that gives them basically the equivalent to one of the enchanted arrows. There's one that gives ignores cover.
Yes.
So that gives them quick. This one gives them quick. So move and shoot, which is super handy. I like that. That.
And you can shoot even when, like, in every situation where you get charged, right? Which is good.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, buddy. Listen, that's the end of the magic items
Mhm.
in total. And same question again to you and everyone who's watching the video. Do you think it's expanded how you can play Wood Elves? Do you think it's created some new kind of like list paradigms? What are you thinking here? Apart from, and try not to think of naked Wood Elves in the forest.
I am trying to think of more naked Wood Elves in the forest, quite frankly. However, I don't. I mean, I don't think this is bad. I think there's some definitely cool ones. They do feel heavily pointed a lot. I am glad to see that at least the extra lore isn't locked to one of the Armies of Infamy. You can buy your way out of that jam. That was good, and they made it a common item too. That's very nice. But yeah, nothing in reading through all of that, nothing super jumps out at me. What about you?
Nothing really. I really like the poison shot. I thought that was one that I really enjoyed.
It's just a cool mechanic too. I like it. Yeah,
It's a very cool mechanic, especially because you can have it in multiple cases. So just pinging a bunch of shots to try and make that happen, I think is very fun. Even if it's like not necessarily strong, I think it's very thematic, which I think is very cool. Being a little bit opening up that spell lore, which we'll cover next, but opening that spell lore out so that loads of different people could take it is also really nice. You know, it's good to have not like hard locked that into something. I think that's really positive as well. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by the armor because we just know how fragile this whole range is. And again, that 80-point banner is making me question many things. But then dancing Wood Elves in the forest have just, they take all of my worries away. So
it's true. It's true.
And of course, that much mentioned new spell lore for the Wood Elves. Very exciting. Val, what are you thinking?
Well, I think there's a lot of perhaps sadness or disappointment that there was no like tree spirit themed list or Army of Infamy teased or evident, but Lore of the Wilds, according to this preamble here, is kind of like tree magic. This is from the tree spirits, so that's pretty neat, and hence maybe why we saw that kindred ability to gain the ability to join tree spirit units. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think that's neat. There you go.
Agree.
Little bit of love for the trees.
So there is a signature spell. So a signature spell is Swirling Mists, which is an enchantment cast on an 8 and its range self. To start next turn subphase, which is a nice duration to be, any enemy models that directs a shooting attack at the caster or any unit they have joined must re-roll any rolls to hit of a natural 6. Okay.
No poison.
No poison. You can't poison me. I've covered in Swirling Mists. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't feel super strong.
Not super strong, but that's pretty standard for signatures. So not a surprise. Not a surprise.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take us to.
I mean, also not the worst either. It will reduce 18% of hits. So there you go. The Fury of Athaloran. Here we go. Magic missile. Buckle up. 10 casting value 10 plus. Range 18 inches. Okay. Target enemy suffers D3+1, strength 6 hits.
Wow.
Each with an AP of -2 and the multiple wounds 2 special rule. What?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
That's pretty sick. Now that's a missile.
Now that's a missile. 10 to cast.
Yeah.
So we're up there. But let me tell you, yes, is what I'm gonna say.
AP of 2, multiple wounds 2. That ain't nothing. D3+1. We're hitting what? 3 times usually?
Brother, let's just get ourselves 2, 3, dare I say 4 wizards. And let's just
only wizards. All wizards only. Wizards.
And let's start getting a bit butt wild with this, because this is a great spell.
All right. Well, that's a good start. What about Ariel's Blessing, Robbo?
Okay. I don't want to go on. I want to stay there.
No?
Yeah,
you just want to savor? You want to savor that magic missile? That's a dope-ass magic missile.
Absolutely. Ariel's Blessing.
It's because of all the shit you were talking about fireballs. They're like, oh, yeah?
Yeah, you like fireball? Get out. Ariel's Blessing is an enchantment cast on a 9 with a range of only 10 inches. So we start next turn subphase. The target friendly unit gains regen 5+. I really thought that they were going to forget about saves in this entire book. So that's nice.
Very good. Very good. Until your next start of turn sub phase. Okay, cool. So, I mean, yep, you can't cast it on someone already in combat, but that's all right. Regen 5 up. Not going to sneeze at it because they just don't have anything. So something is great.
Yeah, and ultimately now you've got a 6 up, 6 up, 5 up.
Ooh.
So them layered saves that people are talking about online. I mean, ultimately that's a good spell, I would say.
No, and as we've covered, not a army known for layers.
No.
Mostly just straight skin.
Okay.
Spiteful Torrent, Magical Vortex, casting value 10 up, range 15 inches. It remains in place. Place a small 3-inch blast template so that the central hole is within 15 inches of the caster, so you can push it out there pretty far whilst in play. The template is treated as dangerous terrain. The template moves d6 in a random direction during every start of turn subphase. Any enemy unit the moving template touches or moves over suffers 3d6 strength 2 hits, each with an AP of -1.
I don't hate it though. Like if I rolled it, I'd be like, fine, I'm going to throw it at you and try. Yeah,
at least it's 3d6 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But yes, it could be better, but it's definitely not too bad. Yeah. Next up, we've got Durthu's Wrath, which is an assailment spell with a casting value of 10. Each model.
Durthu call out. We got Durthu.
He's back, baby.
Baby.
Each model in the fighting rank of a unit that the caster is engaged with must immediately make an initiative test. And then you win the game. Like, you didn't.
Dude, keep reading.
Yeah. Each model that fails the test suffers D3 strength 4 hits with no armor saves permitted. Ward and regeneration saves can be made. Are you taking back the?
No. Each model that fails this test suffers D3 strength 4 hits.
Yeah, but that could be 2. Maybe 3.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that like that means that like each one of the single suckers that like so if you're in a fighting rank of 10, each one of my Graveguard is potentially taking 4 strength 4 hits with no armor saves.
Good.
Like that's crazy. That's a lot. That's also a pain in the dick to work your way through. That's going to take a long time.
Colin B is my favorite bit. It's like, hey, bud, this might be a pain in our dicks.
You sure you want to go to the line? Because it's going to take me a while. By the way, this on a Tree Man Ancient, I'm just saying, this whole setup is feeling pretty sick on a Tree Man Ancient.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know if that's any good, but I want to do it.
I like that a lot. Like, really good. But you got to fail an initiative test, so you know it is what it is. Okay. Next up. Oh no, that was me. Sorry, because I forgot. I didn't think it was me because you halfway through.
I just was blown away. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's very good. That might be okay. It's not doppelganger, but it's good. No armor saves. Strength 4. That's good. Hidden pathways. We got a conveyance spell. Cast value 8+, range 12 inches. Until your next start of turn subphase, the target friendly unit gains the reserve move special rule and may perform a quick turn, even if it would not normally be able to do so.
That's good.
That's also good.
That's good. We love that.
That's with all the good. This is a lot of good.
It's a lot of good, which is really important because there might not be more. So that's great. I love that. That's good. Range of 12 inches. Great. Low casting value, so likely to get it. Lastly, Sapping Blight is a hex cast on a 9 with a range of 12 inches.
Let's go.
Until your next start of turn subphase, the target enemy unit suffers -D3 modifier to its strength characteristic. Turn minimum of 1. This spell may target an enemy unit engaged in combat. If this spell is cast, the effects of any other hex previously cast on the target unit is immediately expire. -D3 modifier to the strength characteristic of a unit within 12 inches feels very good.
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. And it can cast into combat also, just like Spirit Leech and a couple others. For whatever reason, you just have to remember to cast this one first. If you have more than one hex to cast on something.
Yep.
Otherwise, literally, if you get the order of operations wrong, you go, oh, nope, can't do that. But if you just rolled this one first, You can do it, but you didn't.
But then
So
also don't play with that person. I reckon.
I've literally never rolled that in the correct order of operations, and all of my opponents have been like, obviously you have mental difficulties. It's okay. And things worked out.
Okay, good. So like give me, a trees out of tree. How many trees are you giving it? Tree out of tree?
Trees out of tree. Absolutely.
Trees out of tree. Whoa.
No, it's for real though. That seems good. I mean, I on the face of it, that seemed like a pretty useful and good ass lore.
Yeah. I'm not like Spiteful Torrent is the one that like you're like whatever, but
even, like you said though, like it's still fine.
It's still fine. Yeah, but some of them are super strong. Especially leading into, like you say, if you're looking for tough characters going into front lines to do Durthu's Wrath or regen, you're not mad at that. You're not mad at the magic missile. Toughness, 11 out of 10. I think this is great. Nice upgrade for generally the whole Wood Elf roster and everyone playing Wood Elves, because you also gain access to this in the Grand Army. So I gotta say, like, I think Wood Elf players are gonna be pretty happy that they're gonna have this at least to experiment with and build some new lists around.
Yeah.
So next up, we're going to look at the Armies of Infamy, 2 to choose from, and there's obviously the really famous Orion. Everyone knows Orion, but way back in the day, or towards the end of 8th edition, Araloth, Lord of Talzin, was released as a model, clutching an eagle. There he was. He's a Glade Lord, so you can see him here, and he's got his own host. Which is very exciting. The host of Talzin. Obviously, he's one of our kind of characters in the book narrative, which we might try and cover next week or week after. Should be fun to do. But
I love promises we don't keep. That's a good one.
Hey, we could do that. I would like.
We did it once. We did do it once,
and I'll do it again.
I will. I'll do it again.
Oh, I'll do it.
I will do it again. I'll do it again.
I'll do it. Okay, so by the way, if you are new to the old world, and for some reason you're already 46 minutes into this video being like, what the hell? Armies of Infamy.
There might be a lot of Woody's folks who have been checked out until our last video. That is genuinely possible.
Yeah, so 2 Armies of Infamy, it means you can, basically means you've got 2 other armies that you can build into, with the Grand Army being a 3rd army. This is one, and it obviously changes how you can build the army or the restrictions on those. So if we take a look at it, for characters, up to 50% of your army's points value may be spent on up to 1 Glade Lord or Spellweaver per 1,000 points, which is good because your Spellweaver's great. You want a level 4. Poor Empire right now, just fist punch, they've already punched the screen. Like they're just mad at that because they couldn't get a level 4. They can get level 4 in theirs, could they?
Oh, right. Yeah. So yeah, not in either of them. No, I think there's one. There's one of the knights ones you can bring a level 4.
Okay.
But
all right.
Correct. For the most part, correct. Yes.
Treatment Ancient, a Warden of Talzin per 1,000 points, which we'll get to. So 1 Warden of Talzin, 1 Shadow Dancer per unit of War Dancers taken, Glade Captains, Spell Singers, and Branch Wraiths. How do you want to take us through the course? Shall I just do the whole thing?
Well, since you offered 25% of your core, so that's cool because sometimes you have to take more core than usual. 1+ unit of Eternal Guard, so instead of Glade Guard, you have to take more Eternal Guard. Dryads are unlocked. 0 to 1 unit of Glade Guard per 1,000 points. 0 to 1 unit of Deepwood Scouts, maybe taking as a core choice. And then you've got special.
Yeah, special up to 50% of your army's points may be spent on Deepwood Scouts, Guardians of Talzin, a new unit we'll talk about, Wildwood Rangers, and Sisters of the Thorn. And up to 2 units of Treekin per 1,000 points, and for rare, up to 33% is Treemen, War Dancers, and Grey Eagles. If we just take a moment to talk about core, as we talked about in the deep dive, Glade Guard and Deepwood Scouts are pretty expensive and super fragile. And Dryads are an interesting melee choice, if not necessarily super stonks. They're at least interesting with 2 attacks. They're kind of fun, and your core tax of Eternal Guard is unfortunate. Would you say that's a fair take? Maybe if infantry gets better, that is. Well,
we don't know what we don't know what kind of juicy things these guys get.
That's true.
They're definitely rerolling ones to do something. Like I'm telling you that.
Okay. The core feels a little bit similar. In fact, actually a little bit less mobile, because obviously we've got rid of our cavalry or light cav from core.
There are no horses in here, or although oddly Sisters of the Thorn are in here. But yeah, we got no Wild Riders either, bud.
No, but you do have a nice, big, healthy character section, so you can build yourself a Glade Lord on a dragon. You can build yourself your level 4 wizard, your Treeman Ancient, if you want to go that way as well. We've got a new character, new units, which we should have a look at. So if we go and look at the special rules over here, and we'll go see what special rules we've gone and got. The first one, Ancient Enemies. All units with a host of Talzin army gain Hatred Beastman Brayherd special rule, which I do love, and I always will love the concept of me and you, Val. We're at club, we're club mates. We've been playing Warhammer together for years. And
I was imagining a different kind of club, but okay, yes.
Yeah, okay. And you bring your Beastman every week, and every week I'm like, I'm the host of Talzin, and you're like, you motherfucker.
You son of a bee. You've done it again.
You've done it again.
Good thing you're still toughness 3, strength 3.
With 0 seconds.
And you're naked. But you did spend 80 points on a banner to get +1 leadership and an 18-inch bubble. So, I mean, you've got that going for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely bought that. Okay, let's take me through the next rule. Maybe it's better.
In addition to the Lords of Magic, they may normally know spells from Wood Elf Mages, Treeman Ancients, and Branch Wraiths within a host of Talzin army may know spells from the lore of the wilds of... From what?
Yeah,
Oof.
Lore of the Wilds,
from the lore
of
of the wilds, lore of magic.
Yeah.
Lore of the wilds, lore of magic. There we go. We got her.
No
we
comma.
got there.
No comma.
All right. So no 15 points to take the lore of the wilds.
Not even a Boston comma. I don't know if that's the thing.
You just made it up.
Yeah, just made it up. Anyway, I mean, so far we just got 2 special rules, which are just they hate beasts and you can take some spells. So I'm hoping
we got like half a page left here, bro. Okay. We're all right.
Protectors of the Ancient Wood. While it controls a special feature, oh no. While it controls a special feature, a unit with the host of Talzin army may reroll any hit rolls to hit and wound of a natural 1 during the combat phase. Well, they should rerolls, bud, so you don't have to be mad about that. You didn't miss it, but you do also have to control a special feature.
Yeah. We should probably take a second and just wonder out loud if what a special feature counts as.
Forest? Is a forest a special feature?
I don't think so.
No. What about a magical forest that I have produced myself?
Maybe. Special features are terrain features that represent an important landmark. Okay. So the Watchtower one, that's a special feature.
There you go. Play Watchtower, which you will play at my events every single time. Shout out to the TSN. Shout out to the TSN kids.
God damn you! You will play Watchtower and you will like it. It's not called Watchtower anymore. Where do they get their forest rule? Woodland ambush.
They get it on their like in their army, just below their army composition somewhere.
It's not a special forest. It's just a forest.
Okay, so you're not going to get these near your own forest. So you really gonna bully your Beastman friend at the club with this.
Yes,
that's the goal.
Tailor-made.
That's the
tailor-made to put the hoofs down on the hoofed ones.
Okay, final one. This is gonna bring it home. Okay.
Okay, big one.
Yeah, this is you.
This is me. Within a host of Talzin army, any number of units of dryads and treekin may have the ambusher special rule at the cost of 1 point per model. In addition, treemen and treemen ancient may have the ambusher special rule at the cost of 10 points per model. All right, so we got ambush and trees here.
I feel like the guy that wrote the Orc and Goblin one and the Dwarf Armies of Infamy, he is currently in ambush because I'm missing him from these pages. Okay. Did he get lost in the forest? Bring him back. Okay. Or they, or she. Whoever.
They, them, he or she. This is very themey, feels like it's geared towards the narrative of obviously taking place between Beastmen and these fine woodies. So, you know, as dudes who just like tasty rules, maybe a little underwhelming for this one. Anything to be redeemed. The special feature condition sucks on that roll. It rolls and wounds in tune with nature. That's nice. Gain hatred beastmen. I mean, and then ambushing trees with no ability to manipulate ambush. Which, by the way, folks, that means you come in on a 4-up. Means you probably just aren't coming. You're not showing up.
You're not
Unless
tree
you really
whacking.
don't want. Unless you don't want to show up. Yeah, you're just tree whacking off the table somewhere. That's all you're doing. Although I do love the idea of an ambushing tree. I think that's funny. Now, I'm just gonna throw this out there. Don't you think it would make more sense for a tree, instead of sneaking up on you and ambushing, that maybe it would just scout and stand there like a tree?
I'm surprised more of the trees don't have evasive so they can leaf.
Oh, damn.
Welcome. Yeah. Okay.
God, I hope you guys are as awake as we are.
Please subscribe. It's 1:30
We're
in the morning.
delirious.
Okay.
Please subscribe. We're so
We're
close
nearly
to
at
20,000.
20,000. Yeah,
We're
come
so
on.
close, guys. Come on, you can do it.
All right.
Come on.
Okay. All right. So now the titular member or leader of our Talzin force is Lord Talzin. Well, actually, his name's Araloth, the Lord of Talzin. Okay. And let's take a look at his profile, shall we? I'll do this one. You can do the next. So he's 170 points. What do I get for that? Well, straight out, I didn't even look at his stat line. I just went straight to equipment. Heavy armor and a shield, bud.
Get out of here.
He's not naked. I'm loving life. Okay. So he's weapon skill 8, which is phenom. We love that. That's great. He is obviously toughness 3, strength 4. He's weapon skill 3. He's ballistic skill 7, and he's leadership 10. Which this is a very high leadership army. Again, just to be clear, Glade Lords are leadership 10. So the +1 leadership banner is even worse because most of the time you have the highest leadership available to anyone ever. But I'll move on. That's not a problem.
But can that banner give you 11?
No. All right.
Why not just have a stronger 10? All right, let's
stronger 10. Right. So he's got the boldest of the bold special rule, which we'll cover in a second. Evasive, which is a great rule. Favor of the goddess. Move through cover, which is a great rule. Rallying cry. Scaring the eye. Thief, and strike first and stubborn. So strike first with 4 attacks at strength 4. So let's go and look at his Spear of Talzin. Importantly, is strength as users. So it's going to be strength 4, AP 1, armor bane 1, magical attacks. So not necessarily a super powerful weapon. His boldest of the bold rule, Araloth ignores all negative modifiers to his leadership characteristic.
I like that. I like it one bit.
Yeah. Nope. Okay. Wait. Sorry. Did the vamp scream guy not enjoy that?
No. That's not cool. No.
Move on. Are you going to be biased? Are you going to be like, Wood Elf players, don't take him?
Not allowed. You're not allowed to evade, and now you're not allowed to. Now you're going to not modify your leadership characteristics, so I can scream your stupid 170.3 wound model off the table. Screw that.
Because specifically against screams, everyone else can use his leadership characteristic as long as you don't cast a spell that means you can't, right?
Correct. So I will probably have cast that. But yes. But if he's in the unit I'm screaming at, or if it's him himself, it's very good.
Okay. So
it means he's literally not losing wounds.
Wow.
I guess he could roll an 11 or 12, but yeah.
Okay, so he's really good specific counter meta to the list Val's running, which is fun. Favor of the goddess. Araloth has a 5-up ward save against any wound suffered.
Get out of town.
Shut up, a 4-up, 5-up. What is this?
What?
This is amazing. He might be the best character in the roster.
OP. Yeah, super OP.
He is crazy. Over the top. Then Scaring the Eye Thief is a special rule, which is for his bird. During the command subphase of his turn, Araloth may attempt to dispatch Scaring to strike the skies by rolling a d6. On a roll of 1 to 2, Scaring lingers out of reach of the enemy, nothing happens. On a roll of 3, Scaring descends from the skies to strike at his master's mark. Nominate a single enemy model within 18 inches of Araloth. That model suffers a single strength 4 hit with an AP of 1. If the target suffers an unsaved wound, its weapon skill initiative characteristic are reduced by D3 to a minimum of 1 for the remainder of the game.
Kind of harsh.
Weapon skill and initiative D3 remainder of the game. So like you said previously, if they suffer an unsaved wound. So obviously the dream is to hit a dragon with that, but unfortunately it's unlikely to wound them. They're likely to save it. It's a little bit disappointing, but it's a cool rule.
It's strength 4. You're nominating a single model with an 18. It's not a shooting attack, so that means anybody. It's pretty far. Weapon skill and initiative. Yeah. I don't know. It's not the worst. That's fun. Also, anything that's called the Eye Thief, I don't want anything to do with stealing eyes.
No,
This is a mean bird. It's a nasty, mean bird.
Don't like that. So, what do you think of Araloth? Now, I love him because obviously he's heavily armored. He's got an armor save.
Heavily armored.
He's heavily armored. He's got a ward save.
He has heavy armor. Yes.
Well, he's got a shield too. It's a 4-up save.
He's got a shield too, and a spear. He's got a spear. Does the spear count as a spear? I don't think it does.
No.
Nope. It's just cool. I will say this about old Araloth, if I may be so informal as to use his given name, Lord of Talzin. I will say he's not boring. Not boring. I think this is a genuinely fun model. Favorite. Did we say? Yeah, we saw favorite of the guy. He doesn't have any of the Kindreds, does he?
No, he doesn't have any of the Kindreds. I think one of the things I do like about him, though, is he feels like he's got like a little bit more of a role than maybe we've seen from some of these other special characters we've seen in the Arcane Journals. Ignoring leadership characteristic modifiers just feels positive. Like they very much want you to, I don't know if this is future-proofing, if there's something coming down the pipeline where your leadership being high, causing terror, seems to be like a key element of what they want the Wood Elves to do. But how it integrates with the rest of the game, I'm not really sure at the moment. But that feels like a positive ability, at least.
Yeah, he also is 100% geared to fight beastmans because they do have a lot of leadership mods. As far as the core armies are concerned, they did take some of those like debuffing mechanics. They have a signature spell like one of their like beastman lore spells that works like a scream without any negative debuffs. So yeah, this guy's probably around to fight a beastman,
and I'm sure do it well.
So here we go with the Wardens of Talzin. These guys are one of those tweener characters, not quite a hero, not yet a lord. He's sort of right in between the two things. Movement 5, weapon skill 7, beefy. Ballistic skill 4, strength 4, toughness 3. I should say strength 4, toughness 3, 3 wounds as well. So not a hero tier woundage. Initiative 6, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 125 points. So this one is sort of kind of on that like I guess kind of on that Glade Lord tier.
Well, I mean, like you were just saying, 4 attacks, that does put them in that combat level, right? Same amount. Weapon skill 7 is super nice as well, for a bunch of different reasons. I think that's the same as the Glade Lord as well, as weapon skill 7. So very fighty, and strength 4.
Strength 4, so same as the Glade Lord. So he's basically Glade Lord with less ballistic skill. And 10 points less.
Yeah.
So, hey, all right. Okay, cool. And also, very importantly, not a Glade Lord is coming from a different bucket here. Because this means you could take 2 mages, for example. Anyway, we've got may replace so they are regular infantry, by the way, hand weapon, Aserai spear, and light armor. May replace Aserai spear with one of the following: an additional hand weapon or great weapon. Cool. May take a shield. And may have 75 points of magic items. Very
Super
cool.
Interesting. Yeah.
Special rules are close order, courage beyond compare, drilled, nice, elven reflexes, immune to psychology, move through cover, parry, strike first, and stubborn.
Stubborn we love.
Stubborn we love. Big fans of stubborn around here. Quite stubborn ourselves. Courage beyond compare. If this character joins a unit of Guardians of Talzin, that's a special unit coming up. That unit gains the immune to psychology special rule. Should this character leave the unit for any reason, the unit loses the special rule. Double-edged Aserai spear on the immune to psych if you're a weedy wood elf. Not going to lie, sometimes you just really wish you could run away. And then parry, everybody. Parry. Remember that rule?
Yeah.
That was a cool rule. Parry, what does it do now? When fighting with a hand weapon and shield or Aserai spear and shield, this unit improves its armor value by 1. That is the 6th and 7th version of parry, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel a rule coming to 2nd edition sometime soon.
Seriously, that is interesting. Because parry would immediately improve anything that's got a hand weapon. Well, obviously a hand weapon shield or spear and shield. That's that would be nice to not have on your very bespoke like on all infantry and not just your very bespoke elite infantry unit from the Arcane Journal. But cool to see Perry back. All right.
For sure.
Thoughts?
For sure. I think, yeah, like you get a melee character that comes out of different section from your wizards. Like you said, it's 1 per 1,000 for the Wardens of Talzin. And obviously you're putting them into a brick, which we'll talk about in a second. Immune psychology, like you say, can't run away, but also no terror checks. But you've also got crazy, stupid high leadership. So it feels like I'm a double redundancy I don't need. I like it. Like I do like the idea of like a little combat character. I wish combat characters had like foot combat characters had more of a role, but you obviously got to reduce the efficacy of like of those mounted combat lords really. Yeah, I think cool, and I think maybe more interesting than anything else is the fact that Parry's there, and that might be a nod to second edition. Got my brain ticking over. For sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now the next unit, or the unit that we've been talking about, the Guardians of Talzin. This is a regular infantry unit, and they've got hand weapons, Azrai spears, and light armor, but you can take shields. So already that's a 5-up armor save, which is pretty wild for these guys. They do also have the parry rule. So that now means that you're going to have a 4-up save on this unit, which is nice. And other than that, they're just a better Eternal Guard, but they are expensive. 18 points with shields, 19 points a guy. Their weapon
Yowza.
Yeah, it's expensive.
They don't have a horse?
No, they do not have a horse. They've got their weapon skill 5, and they're only strength 3, toughness 3, they're initiative 4, but they do have martial prowess. But they do have 2 attacks each. So that is quite interesting. Like I'm sure high elf players furious right now that a Woody got 2 attacks on an infantry block. But you can obviously have a full command, magic stand up to 50 points, and 50 points of magic items on the champion. But you get close order, drilled, which we know is a great bonus, elven reflexes for plus initiative, martial prowess, move through cover, parry, which is going to be a +1 save, stubborn, which is great, and veteran. Martial prowess, a unit with a special rule, can make a supporting attack in its flank or rear as well as to its front, and they've got their spears with fighting an extra rank. And a model with an Azrai spear cannot make a supporting attack during a turn in which it charged. However, during a turn in which it was charged, its front arc, a model with an Azrai spear gains +1 modifiers to initiative. So with Elven Reflexes, it's +2 initiative on a turn you're charged, which is going to be initiative 6 with 2 attacks a model, which is pretty nice.
And -1 AP.
Yeah, exactly. So there, again, like I've said with Eternal Guard, and maybe this is also true for these, a great unit if these sorts of units would work in the game, but also even then their points is so many points.
It's a lot of points,
model, per wound is a lot of points.
Yeah, 19 points of wound is a lot of points. At least you're getting 2 attacks. They're drilled, so like that's pretty cool. So you can do like a double line hammer here, get as wide as you possibly can, and at least you're dumping a bucket of attacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're gonna get, you're basically getting, you're getting tons of attacks. So that's I don't know, that's cool. I mean, we can't overstate here. 90 points a model. I mean, come on.
That's too expensive. Okay,
that's too many points, guys. That's too many points. The rent is too damn high.
But what's important to remember is because they're leadership 9, it does give you the opportunity to put a BSB in with the 80-point banner to take them up to leadership 10. That is something you should not, but can do. Okay,
so this is what we want to see at the TSN or the S-Bot, guys. We want to see a host of Talzin being fielded with the dumb banner and a unit of these guys, and that's the whole army. That's basically that's.
So don't forget though, you obviously playing in the army that's got that spell law with the 5-up regen, which you can put in, which is nice as well. Reserve move, no, that's going to come up for this particular unit. But that's everything for the Talzin host. It's time for you in the comments to say to yourselves, I'm going to leave some thoughts about what I think about this army so far. Val, I'm going to ask the same question to you. And what does everyone kind of think? What's your takeaway? This is everything for them, I'm pretty certain. Do a check. It is everything for them. What do you think?
What do I think? I think this is a all I'm thinking about is actually using this. It's kind of like a sneaky dryad, or sorry, like tree spirit or treekin army, I think. Can you take Treekin, actually? That's a good question.
You
can bring
take
Tree
Treekin.
Men.
You can take Treekin. Up to 2 units of Treekin per 1,000 points.
So this could be a decent option for like running only trees, which is cool, and also kind of sneaky. It was sort of like how they did a sneaky Slayer army in the Royal Host for the dwarfs. They didn't actually make a Slayer army, but that one works well as one. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably not like good, but it at least seems fun. I'm not mad. It's not like I'm not upset like I was reading a lot of the
Empire.
Reading Empire, or like even like I guess we haven't seen the second one yet, but like I'm not upset about it. It's pretty themey. It really does force you. I wish it was giving more oomph to infantry, considering it is an infantry focused army. So yeah, that is a bit of a bummer that there's not like reroll hits and wounds next to a special feature. It's a rule.
It's a rule. It's one of the rules of all times. I think what's interesting about this is that they I think maybe the parry is an indication that they considered what they did with the initial Wood Elf rules and then kind of revisited it. But also then looking at the points cost of especially the Guardians of Talzin, I think they I don't know what in their spreadsheet says this unit is that expensive, because it isn't survivability, which feels pretty clutch. Because
Robbie's, they've got a 4-up save with parry.
that is true. I apologize.
Take that back.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit concerned, like on that front, that there's still some sort of there's something that they're saying you can do, and I'm like, I don't see it. And I think a lot of Wood Elf players will feel the same way there. But you can build something themey. There's some cool stuff in there. And let's go look at Orion, shall we? Let's do it.
We shall.
Right, excitingly, we're going to talk about Orion, a magical, eternal demigod who lives in the forest. So I'm assuming this will be good. So his armies. I'm nervous now because I know because I know what you're gonna do. Anyway, the Army of Infamy composition list. Up to 50% of your army's points may be spent on a Glade Lord per 1,000 points.
Oh yeah.
One Shadow Dancer, Spell Singer, or Waystalker per 1,000 points.
What does that not include?
Does not include a level 3 or 4 wizard.
Does not. All right.
Not. And a Glade Captain. So that's unfortunate, but sure. And maybe there's lots of magical stuff in here to make up for it. Core, up to 1 unit of Wild Riders per 1,000 points as core. I'll take that. And Glade Riders. So Glade Riders are super annoying. They're very fast, they're very mobile, they're quite expensive, and they don't actually do any damage. But they exist to survive.
They do exist. A unit of our time.
A unit of our time.
But 2 units of Wild Riders in core is pretty dope, not going to lie.
Yeah, I love that. I actually really love that. Special, 1 unit of Sisters of Thorn per 1,000 points, which is cool. 1 unit of Sisters of Thorn. And then War Dancers, Warhawks, Wild Riders, a Wood Elf Beast Pack, which is a new unit we'll talk about in a moment in special. And then for rare, up to 1 unit of Way Watchers per Waystalker taken, 3 Great Eagles, Deep Wood Scouts, and Wildwood Rangers. Your Glade Captain can be your BSB, and any models that have any option. You can just take magic items from the core book as well. So initial thoughts on this?
So yeah, this is, again, these Armies of Infamy that remove level 3 and 4 casters. I don't get it. I don't understand why they do it, man. I don't understand why they do it. Why do they do that? Why not even just 1? You can lock them to 1, but you really do hamstring an army when you do that. So that immediately takes a little bit of the fun off of this. Although then again, maybe there's a way to get away with not having magical with like having defense, right? Is there? I don't know if there is.
No, I have, as you know, I've been recently saying that I'm not that bothered about having a level 4 in Chaos because I have the puppet as an example, which I know is not necessarily like 100% the greatest idea, but it also doesn't feel like a terrible idea. So maybe there's some options in here for something similar as well. We'll have to see. But ultimately, Yes, I like Wild Riders. I'm going to go to bat for Wild Riders. Wild Riders like suck, but also are brilliant simultaneously because they're super fast. If they smash you, they smash you, and then you get hit with literally even a noodle, they'll die. And that's quite a fun army to play. Instead of running around and being evasive all the time, I just YOLO a bunch of lunatics on forest demon dogs. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's go and look at the special rules for me. So maybe this will bring us back. Do you want to take us through the chieftains of the Hunter King?
I would like to. Wood Elf nobles in an Orion's Wild Hunt army may have the talismanic tattoo special rule at the cost of 10 points per model. They can get a ward save, 6 up, 10 points.
Press the button. Hate that. Okay, that's again. If you watch the Wood Elf deep dive, I have a personal hatred of 6 up ward save. So I apologize.
Especially in small units, which this one will be smaller. Wood Elves are out anyway. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're still having fun here, guys. We're still having fun.
The Spirit of Kurnos, though, up to 1 unit of Glade Riders, Warhol Riders, or Wood Elf Beast packs per 1,000 points may have the Furious Charge special rule and Impetuous special rule. I was going to bat for it. I was going to be like, yeah, give me some Warhawk Riders with Furious Charge. I was like ready to fucking shout. Okay, all right.
With Impetuous?
Well, column A, column B.
Why?
A, column B. Well,
why?
Because
just give him frenzy. Just give him frenzy. Just give him frenzy.
The restless nature and devastating power of the Lord of the Hunt flows through the Azrai as they race off in search of their quarry. That's why.
All right.
Okay. All right. Last rule. We got this. Come on. Big punch.
After deployment, but before the first turn begins, nominate a single enemy character. Hovering my finger now. A single enemy character, a single enemy model whose troop type is monster.
Okay.
This model has been marked by the Wild Hunt as a prize trophy.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I'm coming back off of this one. All models within a friendly Orion's Wild Hunt army may re-roll any rolls to hit of a natural 1 made in the shooting or combat phase against the nominated unit.
Yes.
In addition, you win a bonus 100 VP if the nominated model is slain, has fled the battlefield, or is fleeing when the game ends. All right, that's fun.
This is a Tuesday afternoon rule, right? Like they've gone, what did Terry do in the dwarf book? He's like, hey, he did this whole thing with victory points. What was it? It's like, I don't remember. But extra 100 VP? Like, sure.
It's cool. Probably gonna be it's gonna be a hard model to kill though, so we should probably give him some extra some juice. You should juice him up.
Yeah.
Reroll once to hit.
It's not nothing.
Hey, you don't have to be near a special feature, so we'll take it.
Do you know what is a good thing about this, though? It's shooting or combat. So, like some of your shooting, like those specific shooting abilities that like pick an enemy character out or something similar. Like, that's a fun... Can you have a Glade Lord? Maybe? No. Yes? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
he's got that ability to like pop a shot, doesn't he? It might be an automatic.
Yeah, hit. But that's also pre-game. I don't think it's actually a shot. But no, come on. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that you're like targeting something and going after it.
Yeah. I can take that. Like, yeah. I guess. Yeah. That's one of. Yeah. Overall, not the strongest set of bonuses available.
No. Not at all.
So we'll move on. To Orion, the king in the woods. Now, this has got everyone frothy. And Val, please take it away. I bequeath to you, please. 455 points. This guy. Whoa.
Okay. 455, huh? All right. Let's see. What's the king of the woods packing? All right, no tree whacking for Ryan. He's keeps it real. All right, movement 9, weapon skill 8, ballistic skill 6, strength 5, toughness 5, 5 wounds.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Initiative 8, 5 attacks, probably, and leadership 10.
Can I stop you there?
400. Yeah.
She's leadership 10. Why do I need a banner? Never mind. Please continue.
Leadership 11 now. Monstrous Infantry. Okay. Named character Orion. War Beasts. Hounds of Orion. So he's on a 50 by 50. And he's also got 2 25 by 50 Hounds of Orion. So he's on his old school bases. Unit size is 3. Equipment. Orion has the Cloak of Isha, Hawk's Talon, Horn of the Wild Hunt, Spear of Kurnos. Hounds of Orion have claws and fangs, and which count as a hand weapon. Special rules from Orion himself. Fear. Oh, fear also terror, apparently. All right, fear, frenzy, immune to psychology, move through cover, magic resistance 2, open order, stomp attacks, D3+2, spicy,
wow.
strikes first, terror, but he has fear, unbreakable. Cool. Hounds of Orion have fear, frenzy, immune to psychology, magical attacks, move through cover, open order, spectral hounds, unbreakable. Okay. Note that Orion and his hounds form a single unit, which Orion cannot leave. He's trapped with the hounds. Should this unit be reduced to a single model, it remains in an open order formation. Okay, cool. Spectral hounds, hounds of Orion can only be wounded by magical attacks. Oh, they're ethereal.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's nice game design as well, because you don't want them to just give up 2 combat res by targeting the dogs, right? Like making that like an easy kill.
What? Yeah. It does beg the question, though, why have a rule called Spectral Hounds that's just ethereal? But anyway, that's fine. They wanted to fill out the page a bit.
But let's go look at his actual equipment as well, because he's got quite a few of those.
Let's see what he got. He's got the Cloak of Isha. The Cloak of Isha grants around a 5-up ward save. Nice. In addition, during each of your start of turn sub phases, roll D6 and roll 5-up. Orion recovers a single wound lost earlier in the battle. Hey, sweet.
That's
I don't have to do anything for it. You just get it. Cool. Horn of the Wild Hunt. Once per game during the command subphase of the turn, Orion may sound the Horn of the Wild Hunt. If he does, until the end of this turn, friendly units in Orion's command range gain the Frenzy special rule. All right. A unit may become frenzied in this way, even if it has lost Frenzy earlier in the game.
I guess this means that you can have that unit that has got first charge. Did they have Frenzy? No. You can have first charge and Frenzy now in Orion's army, right? For the Spirit of Kurnos, a unit of Glade Warhawk Riders can get Furious Charge and Frenzy. So
that's why.
That's why, probably, maybe. So that's +2 attacks for the Warhawk Riders.
Yep, that's juicy amount of attacks and a 2-inch movement when they play Bretonnians. So that's Hawk's Talon, range 30 inches, strength user, -1 AP. Magical attacks, multiple shots, D3+1. That's pretty not bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You can just chip damage at range, right?
What's his ballistic skill? He's strength 5, right?
Yeah, he's strength 5. His ballistic skill is 6.
All right. Well, that ain't bad. He's hitting with that.
And also means, like, you know, if it is against one of those marked targets or the marked target, he's rerolling 1 to hit as well. So it's a pretty reliable shooting attack at that point.
There you go. And then we've done Horn of the Wild and the Spirit of Kurnos. All right, so he's got also ranged.
Yeah.
So it's also ranged, 18 inches, strength +1, AP -2, magical attacks, multiple wounds, D3.
Wow.
Very cool. So strength 6, multiple wounds, D3 at 18 inches.
18 inches. I'll take that forever.
Yeah, all right. Combat, obviously his combat weapon is strength +1, -2 AP, so he's strength 6 in combat. Magical attacks, multiple wounds, D3. Not bad. Spear of Kurnos has 2 profiles representing how this weapon is used in combat. The Spear of Kurnos shoots like a bolt thrower using the through and through special rule. Wait a minute.
See the rule book.
No, but hold on a second. The Spear of Kurnos has 2 profiles representing how this weapon is used in combat.
The Spear of Kurnos shoots like a bolt thrower as well. Maybe it should have said, as well, the Spear of Kurnos shoots like a bolt thrower using through and through.
I feel like this was a bad cut and paste. Because, yeah, usually this means that it has like a sweeping attack or like a smashing attack, but it's actually a ranged and a weird. Although it could just be, anyway, I'm getting lost in the weeds here. Pretty cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, ultimately with Frenzy, like 6 attacks, that strength 6, AP 2, multiple wounds, D3 is something to fear.
Yeah, that's real.
Like that's a real profile. Like Dragon Ogres aren't going to like that. You know, I think dragons are going to be okay with it. But I mean, his weapon skill 8. He's movement 9. He doesn't have swift stride, so he's a little bit slower than maybe you'd want him to be, but he does move 9. And he moves 9 even if there's a goddamn falcon horn being blown.
That's true.
He's still fast as. He also does have magical attacks on that as well. So so he can wreck the Green Knight, which is fun. Just eat him up all day, which is cool. The heal thing, I do go back to his equipment. And I don't see, he does have a 5-up ward save, and he obviously does have the ability to heal wounds, but he doesn't start with an armor save.
Yeah.
So I don't
but he is
that.
in a unit. He is in a unit with 2 dogs that are ethereal. So they're gonna sponge wounds that can't hurt them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So like I guess he's only getting hit by 1 out of 3 hits that hit the unit, which is pretty cool.
I think he's a super
interesting. I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting piece. I think I would have liked to seen something that is more focused on like he is hunting something.
Well, that's the whole point of the army, dude.
Yeah, I guess so. The whole point is, you pick something, and I guess he's part of that or hunt. Yeah, that's a fair point. And then the frenzy bubble that he's able to give out from the Horn of the Wild Hunt, obviously stacking with some other bonuses is good. Obviously, Wild Riders are already frenzied.
Yep.
So, but also if they did lose frenzy earlier in the game, they can regain frenzy. Another
they lost
frenzy,
they're dead.
I mean, if they've got in a fight, I reckon they're dead. But yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know. I think this guy's perfectly cool. Yeah.
Very playable. Very playable.
Does
very
he count? Does he count as a Glade Lord?
Is he a Glade Lord? No.
No. So, and he can be taken in a Grand Army?
Can he be taken in a Grand Army? There is no rule that says he could be taken in a Grand Army.
Really? It doesn't specifically say?
Doesn't specifically say.
What the hell?
Not that I can see on the pages that I have. So, yeah, that would be a bit of a miss if he couldn't be taken in a Grand Army.
Surely he can. Surely he must.
Doesn't say, my friend. Doesn't say.
That is weird. Normally there would be a little box there, but that is a very pretty picture that they have instead.
I'm afraid no. But I know while Kurnoth, the return of Kurnoth, the return of Orion, has got everyone frothy, and people will be debating in the comments whether or not he's good or not good. The true reason many Wood Elf players are here is to find out what the War Beasts do. Okay?
That's fair.
The Wood Elf Beast Pack. The Wood Elf Beast Pack has initially got ourselves a Beast Keeper, who is an 11-point model that's leadership 8. It's only got 1 wound. It's got a light armor. And then each Beast Keeper must take one of the following: between 1 and 3 Deepwood Hounds at 8 points each, 1 and 3 Forest Cats, which are 6 points each, 1 to 3 Sylvan Boars, which are 11 points each, and up to 1 Bear of Lauren, which is 20 points. So you must have at least 1 each of them, but you can have up to X. The special rules for this character are Elven rules: Motley Crew, move through cover, run with the pack, and a skirmishing unit. I note that the Beastkeeper within a Beast Pack must take the same. In other words, a Beast Pack can only contain Deepwood Hounds, Forest Cats, Sylvan Boars, and Bears of Lauren, not a mixture of different beasts.
What?
Correct. Yeah, that sucks.
So why do they have Motley Crew?
I do not know. So then you got run with the pack. whilst one or more Beastkeeper remains within this unit is not subject to the undisciplined, and war beasts within this unit do not fear models with flaming attack special rule. In addition, unit with the special rule may use the movement characteristic of the majority of the models in this unit.
Got it.
And then finally, the Beast of the Forest, any army made using the Wood Elf Realms Grand Army composition list may include any number of Wood Elf Beasts of the Pack as rare choices. So don't fret. Nice. Orion, no. But
Orion is he even called out in his? Is he even called out in the army list for this?
No, he's not even called out in his main army list now. Anyway, let's find out what the animals do. So a Deepwood Hound is movement 9, strength and toughness 3. It's only 8 points, and it's going to give you 1 attack at strength 3, initiative 3, and weapon skill 4. They've all gone.
Okay. No, please. I was just going to make a snide remark. Continue.
Just going to say the Deepwood Hound has got skirmishers and warband. Okay, and obviously run with the pack. The Forest Cat only moves 7 inches, but is only 6 points a model. Leadership is low, but you still get 1 juicy attack at strength 3. But the Forest Cats have Armor Bane 1, Motley Crew, run with the pack, and skirmishers. So the Sylvan Boar is the slowest or second slowest of our group, is movement 6, but this is going to give you 1 attack at strength 4 and their toughness 4. But this is going to set you back 11 points. And for the Sylvan Boar, you get Furious Charge, which is 2 attacks. Motley Crew, Razor Tusks, and then the run with the pack and skirmishers. And lastly, the Bear of Lauren is going to set you back a sweet 20 points. It's the slowest of the lot, only movement 5. But it's strength and toughness 4. It's got 2 wounds. And it's going to give you 2 attacks at strength 4 as well. And this has got Armored Hide 1, so you are going to get a 6-up save.
Nice.
Cleaving Blow.
Right.
Fear Motley Crew, run with the packs and skirmishers. It then goes on to describe Cleaving Blow and also Razor Tusks in this profile. That's a lot of reading for something no one cares about.
This is it's an enigma wrapped in an enigma, answered with a question. And my question is why? Why bring these particular models back, and then why these rules? Bear of Lauren, each Beastkeeper.
I know why. I'm going to explain to the audience why. Why? Because they're just sat in an office. They're old dudes, and someone goes, "Did you like the Beast Packs when you were kids?" Like, I did like the Beast Packs. Like, should we bring them back? It's like, fuck yeah, man. Isn't it cool we've got this job? It's like, it is actually very cool we've got this job. And then they just release it. And a multinational company that's in the FTSE 100 released models that were sculpted in like the 1300s.
In primordial ooze. Just made with ooze. Look, I'm sure they are so old that even it is impossible for me to be nostalgic for them because I was unaware of them existing. It's fun, I guess.
It is fun. It's hella fun. It's hella fun. Like, dude, I absolutely want a Chaos Lord on a dragon to fight against 3 Forest Cats. I want that. Okay, I want to be playing a game and be like, I'd have won the game if I'd just been able to chase down those Sylvan Cats. And the guy playing me is like, well, they are fast, you know. Like, I want that. That's thematic. I want these things in the game. It's cool. It's interesting.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around how these things actually work. So each Beastkeeper must take 1 of the following. The unit size is 1+. So that means you could take multiple Beastkeepers and then get your unit size up a bit, right? So for every 3 hounds, you have to take 1 Beastkeeper.
Yeah, you could have 3 hounds, a Beastkeeper, 3 cats, a Beastkeeper, 3 boars, a Beastkeeper. Like,
I've seen dog walkers with like 8 dogs. You know?
Yeah, but are they from the forests of Athel Lauren?
Yeah, I guess they're not doing as much Pilates, I guess. The Bear of Lauren. So let's go look at the bear. So the Bear of Lauren is basically 31 points a model, right? Yeah. And he gets you. So for that, you get basically 3-ish wounds. If you count the Beastkeeper, 2 attacks. Strength 4.
I'm cutting you off. It's 2 a.m. I'm cutting you off. Okay. I'm cutting you off.
Oh man. Is that the whole thing?
That's the whole thing. That's everything. We did it. So, okay. First thing, let's tell what do you think of Orion's Hunt?
My hunt would include Orion. I think both of these Armies of Infamy definitely fall in because we're going to get lots of comments like, not everything has to be like blah, blah, blah. And if we're comparing like Orion's Hunt and the Host of Talzin to like, say, the Sea Guard, I would say these are more fun, at least.
Yeah.
And feature units that actually I'm like, okay, get a bunch of Wild Riders on the line, get them all like juiced up, ready for combat, and then like fire them across the table. That's fun. Have a bunch of bears just trundling behind them. Cool. I'm in. So at least like to me, that's evocative and cool. I feel the same sort of way about the Army of Nuln. So while they may not be like good, they are at least fun and themed. I think that it's cooler when we get to see them do things that are themey and good. Looking at you, orcs and goblins and dwarves and a couple others, but
maybe even warriors. I think that's fair to say. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, half of them, but some people do, for whatever reason, commit to the
Wolves of the Sea.
Wolves of the Sea, yes, but the one that's Heralds of Darkness, the one that's all cav. So yeah, we don't want to be all salty. I mean, Wood Elves are just in deep, and I think you can't deny that they got better.
It's my favorite this year so far. Like, of the 3 this year, it's my favorite. Like High Elves, Empire, this is my favorite. I think I think while it doesn't necessarily maybe help with either the internal or external balance of the army, which I don't think these books are meant to do anyway, I think what I liked about the early Arcane Journals is they gave us other ways to play an army, which is really what I want from the Armies of Infamy anyway. But what it did do is it added a bunch of thematic things that I can do. Lots of me stuff, which is like when you're playing an army, you do want to do a lot of you stuff. Obviously, you want to kill their stuff, but being able to be like, I'm doing this spell, I'm doing this thing, I've got this cool shooting attack, I've got this cool other ability. Those are all fun things that I like. And I think that's a really nice thing that this book does, at least, which I think is interesting. And also, like, it's giving you, like, straight off the bat, and I think, like, it's an hour and a half ago now, but I just want to say it. We did gloss over them a little bit, but those initial things that you can upgrade your characters with, and they've immediately given us tribes of the Wood Elves for you to hobby and kit bash and paint and build, is super exciting. And balance comes and goes, but ultimately building a cool themed army is super, super fun. And I think a lot of us are into it. So yeah, like it's, I think, and also just to speak the truth, I'd love an armor save in this army somewhere in the.
You got one. You just got to pay 19 points a model for it.
Anyway, I hope you've all really enjoyed this video. If you did like it, then please do leave a comment and let us know what your thoughts were.
I just want to say that I will make a host of Talzin, and it will just be trees. It'll be ambushing trees.
Ambushing trees. Tree whacking.
And a couple of tree man ancients with that sick new lore. I'm in.
Okay, I do like the idea of just shouting tree whacking a lot, so that is cool. But
whacking.
Please do subscribe because we're near 20,000. As you heard, we're quite excited about that.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. And thank you to everyone on the Square Base Patreon. Couldn't do it without you. And a special shout out to Val for recording this late. A special shout out to me for recording it even later.
Way later.
Anyway, I hope to see you soon. Thanks very much for watching. Stay square blessed.